Hey everyone, today's video is going to be really fun and inspiring. I'm going to share some really intuitive and helpful apps that help enhance your daily planning and rituals. These apps help bring a visual structure, prioritization, and focus throughout your days, so let's get into it. First of all, welcome to my channel. This is Create with Confidence, where we talk about lifestyle design, self-actualization, and tips to help you create the next chapter of your life. And guess what? You may have noticed that this is my first YouTube video, so welcome to my first cringy video. Alright, so your habits and rituals. They are the building blocks for you. They build little micro habits that create micro shifts in your life. And we love them because they help you self-actualize and embody the person, the lifestyle, and the goals that you want to create for yourself. So, as a first step, it's important to write down how and what you want to do as part of your day-to-day rituals. So start by writing down what your routines look like. This will help you start designing your day around these habits and help you practice embodying the person that values your time and does things with clarity and intention. I recommend writing down what your morning routine looks like and then what your evening or bedtime routine looks like, because your morning routine begins the night before. So make sure that you write down how you want to end your day so that you begin the next day with some focus and intention. It really helps to build that momentum on a day-to-day basis. If there are other routines that you want to write down, you can do that. For example, you might have a cleaning routine, a studying or a learning routine, or other routines you want to document. For example, I have a 10-minute tidy up routine for different parts of my home that I like to tidy up. So here's an example of what that looks like. Alright, another way you can track or document your rituals or routines is by theming your days. For example, there might be days where you do certain workouts or where you clean certain parts of your home, or you might be focusing on certain topics for learning, reading, or studying. Doing this helps you see how you might segment your days to help you create a sense of structure and focus on a day-to-day basis. So, defining your habits and how you implement certain rituals is a helpful step here, because you want to make sure you have that clarity before you start implementing habit tracking apps or other tools. This really helps you see what you're prioritizing, and it helps you simplify your process. And so this is a part where you want to make sure that your rituals and routines are captured and prioritized accordingly. The apps in this video will allow you to stack habits or routines together. So the last step to all of this is identifying some of the ways you will stack rituals together. For example, when it comes to habit stacking, it's a concept of taking an existing habit that you already do, and then you stack another complementary habit to it so that it further enhances your routine. So examples of this can be folding laundry while listening to an audiobook, or exercising while listening to a motivational playlist, or stretching while listening to self-love affirmations. It can also make sticking to your ritual all that more pleasant. So in this step, since we're already capturing things that are stacked together or that are complementary, you should also make sure to capture rituals that follow a certain sequential order or steps. For example, such as a skincare routine that follows a certain order, or a cleaning routine. This is where clarity meets focused action. These lists that you just compiled help you see the person you want to embody, the lifestyle you want to live, and the habits that will help get you there. Alright, so the first step I want to mention is Timo, which helps you visualize your day. You can incorporate your habits by grouping them into certain chunks of your schedule. You'll enjoy Timo if you want an app that helps you with structuring, organizing, focusing, and goal setting. For example, I like to set a bedtime routine, and here's what my bedtime routine looks like. It begins during the evening shower, and it takes me about 20 minutes to complete. Once I begin my routine, the timer starts counting down, and I can also begin checking off items from that block that I've designated for that specific routine. So this means that I follow a certain steps or activities that I want to complete during that designated time, which helps me stay focused with my routine, and I get to cross them off the checklist and then complete my routine during that time block. Here's also a setup method routine that I like to do at the end of the day. This is a routine that I do after I have finished showering, code habit stacking, and it helps me set up my day for the next day. I designated 30 minutes for this, so you'll notice that I set up my workout clothes, my work clothes, I prep my step 1 action for the next day, and it just really helps me end on a high note. I also love to do some stretching and then some self-love practices, and it just helps me really close out the day and prepare for the next day. As I mentioned to you before, your morning routine begins the night before. So this is why I really love using this app, Timo. Okay, so here's how you set up a routine on Timo. You want to grab your notes with your morning, evening, and other routines so you can transfer them into the app. Timo is going to be great for anyone who struggles with planning, goal setting, and just structuring their day. It's also really helpful if you're a visual thinker or a visual planner and need some sort of way to visually see your schedule. So, by the way, when you set up Timo, you can also set the duration and end time of your routine. And you can also set this so that you can do this any time of the day, or it's set to all day. And then you can also set a specific date that you want to do this, or if you want it to repeat on a daily, monthly, or weekly basis. And then you can also add a tag if that helps you with your organization. By the way, Timo offers a free and paid version. I used the free version for a while and I eventually upgraded to the paid because I enjoyed it so much and I found it really valuable. You can use Timo to plan your personal life and work life and just, stay on top of home and family life and habits in between. All right, so Habit is the other app I want to mention, and I've used so many different habit tracking apps, and this one has just felt so intuitive and has stood out from other ones I've seen. I think what makes it stand out so much is that it's so functional and easy to use. The interface is really amazing and makes it really fun to track your habits. I also love that the Habit app is so adaptable for what you need when you're tracking your habits. You're really able to fully customize things to your liking, and I'm going to show you how. Say for example, one of your habits is to read more often. Well, you can get very specific on how you want to track your habit, and let's set it up together. So first of all, you can choose whether you want to use an emoji or an icon to represent your habit. You can choose the colors that you like. You can add a tag, and the tag allows you to later sort your habits according to a tag, which becomes a category in case you want to find them or sort them later. And then you can also add the frequency. This is where it really gets really helpful. The frequency lets you see if you want to do this on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis. And then say you want to track it a certain way, you can create a new unit. You can create a new tracking metric. For example, if you want to track the number of pages you want to read, you can enter that. Or you can create a whole new category and say you want to capture the number of pages you read, or the number of minutes you've read, or the number of hours you're reading. Maybe it's just counting the number of books you read per month. All of this is fully customizable according to your own personal habits and goals. Habit also lets you determine whether you want to set a reminder, if you want to do it at a certain time, if you want to get a notification. It's just really helpful with setting you up for the right amount of accountability and the nudging that you need, and you can set this so that it doesn't become too noisy or annoying. The memo option is one that I also like because you can leave yourself a note about your habit and what it may have included. So one thing I want to mention is if you enter a habit that is a timed entry, once you begin your habit, the Habit app lets you start tracking the time. And so it starts as a countdown, and you really start to see how much time you've been reading or writing or doing your activity. And if, say, for example, I have a goal that I want to work towards, I want to set an hourly goal every day, it just really lets me see on a weekly basis how much I've done and how much I'm dedicating towards it and how close I am to meeting my goal. And it just really lets you see the evidence of your progress, and it keeps you motivated, and it could really help you build a lot of momentum when you feel you may be falling short. It could really be a good boost of confidence for yourself. So as you continue to complete habits, you can see some data and you can see a streak of the stats within the section of the app. I use Google Calendar for managing my events and calendars, but I integrate it with an app called Structured. And Structured allows me to import all of my events and scheduled activities into this app. And then it's such a simple but powerful concept. It turns your calendar into a to-do list. And so as you import everything, you are able to start checking things off and you get to see what's coming up next in your schedule. And say, for example, grocery shopping. If there was something that I wanted to add on, say as a to-do list or like just notes to myself on something that I forgot to do, the Structured app allows me to do that. And it's just so easy to use. It's like really intuitive. I like the visual aspect of seeing my calendar all in a running list. And sometimes I'm able to tackle things on my calendar ahead of time. I just think that the concept of, if it's not scheduled, it's not going to get done really is something that's ingrained in how I plan. And so I love the idea of turning my calendar into this to-do list that I can cross off at the end of the day. The other app that I like to use is my Notes app. I feel that this app is so fast and easy to load, and I just love capturing notes and ideas that come my way. I keep it to document and keep track of certain workouts related to my rituals and routines, and it just makes it really easy for me to refer back to when I'm at the gym or out exercising. And then if I'm listening to an audiobook, a course, or a podcast and I want to jot down notes, it's just so complementary to my habit that I like having a Notes app folder to help capture all of that. So it just is really helpful. It like really complements my habits and routines as they're happening. The other thing is I like to have a section where I write down my personal goals and my why, and all of that helps me stay focused. It helps me ground myself in why I do what I do, and it's just such a helpful reminder. So I do encourage you to write down your own personal goals, your personal why, and helps you and anything that can help you focus on what's important to you. All right, so there you have it. Those are the apps that can really help maximize your rituals and routines and help you make sure that you have the right planning, structure, and focus needed to keep yourself accountable. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe. If you have any questions or any topics that you'd like me to talk about in the next video, please leave me a comment. And until next time, keep creating the next chapter of your life, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks so much.